Welcome back to the War Room and yet another Starcraft 2 commentary. Today I'll be bringing you a TVP between ROOTqxc spawning as the Red Terran and EGiNkA spawning as the Blue Protoss. The map is Xel'Naga Caverns. This is a pretty popular map. It's got pretty long rush distance here. These center holes tend to be very important when it comes to engaging. They can really change the outcome of a battle based on just what side you're on. If Protoss can get down force fields here or here, just a very good way to divide units. You can put siege tanks back here or over here. Just very useful features of the map. These wide open naturals can be a little hard to secure early on in the game, so a lot of times you won't see too much fast expanding in this map simply because there's so many ways into your natural. This is like EGiNkA is just moving in, getting his first scout here. Going to be a little annoying with his probe, but overall not going to really get too much. So we just have very basic openers from these two at the moment. Nothing really out of the ordinary. So it's a little hard to say what they might be doing. Root sending his scout past the Xel'Naga tower, which is just a good habit to get into, just in case you might spot something moving by. We do have the cybernetics core coming down for EGiNkA, and yet again, just a very, very standard play from both of these players here. And Root's just moving around in here because it's hard for a Protoss to get rid of this scouting probe early on until stalkers come out. So it's definitely worth just leaving it around just to get as much information as you can. He knows that there's no zealot coming out here, so EGiNkA's probably just waiting for that first stalker. And we have a factory coming down for Root here, and just a couple Marines keeping point. Definitely good to keep them spread out a little bit, gives you a little more information. EGiNkA just controlling this watchtower here, never a bad idea. Spot any potential aggression. Root is going to move up to secure that. I would imagine that's what this is for, but he might just be... yeah, he's just scaring off that probe there. And Root's got his SCV down here. I don't know if we'll be seeing anything coming from that, or if he's just kind of tucking him away there to prevent him from dying. We do have a stalker moving out now. And we've got a bunker as well as a starport, so we're definitely going to be seeing some tech here from Root. Could possibly be seeing a Banshee rush. It's most likely what it is, but we'll just have to see. Very good to send this early stalker out. If you can micro it well enough, you can get a couple kills. But this bunker's up, and that's just going to shut that down. And EGiNkA is expanding, and Root does see this. So we're just going to have to see what happens here. We've got the starport going down on that tech lab, so we will most likely be seeing Banshees here. And with this fast expand, that could be a little tricky for EGiNkA to handle. But his robotics facility is coming down. And there's the Banshee along with the cloak. So EGiNkA doesn't have too many units at the moment. He's going to need a couple more stalkers and to keep that observer at home if he wants to survive this incoming harassment, but I don't believe he knows about it. Yeah, he hasn't seen any of that tech up here. And we've got yet another tech lab coming down, so we could be seeing some tanks as well. And I almost thought that probe was going to kill that Hellion. That would have been pretty epic. We do have the one Banshee coming out. It's good to send it out nice and early, so that way it's already at their base once the energy or once the research is done. And even before that research is complete, you can still come in and do some harassment. So moving in, getting a couple probe kills here, forcing EGiNkA to pull his probes back. EGiNkA does have a starport or Stargate, but without detection it's not going to really matter. Okay, there is an observer there. And Root almost losing his Banshee. We got another Banshee coming out here, as well as siege tanks. We don't have any siege tech yet, but he is moving out to secure his expansion. And the Phoenix is... oh wow, a little bit of miss micro there, but it looks like it's going to take this out. Very good, very good. Getting some scouting information with this Phoenix here, seeing exactly what's going on in Root's base. I'm not sure if he's going to notice this expansion or not. It doesn't look like it. So he's pretty confident that there won't be many more Banshees coming at the moment. He should probably either get that observer over towards his natural or into his base, or back home. And I think there was a little bit of Banshee harassment back here that I missed. So Root's army composition is still pretty low at the moment, and it looks like EGiNkA did see that. No, actually he did not. And we've got Void Rays and Immortals here. Good to see those both coming out, as well as Charge is being researched. Excellent research against Terran. Just makes your Zealots so much more useful. They can get that surround nice and early, and just very, very good to have. It increases their survivability so much against the Terran Bio Ball. And it looks like I'm not sure if he's going to actually expand here yet, or if he's just softening up for when he decides to expand. And that looks like what's going on there. Or he's just scaring away that Hellion which was giving that information. So Root is just sitting back still, sending another Banshee out to do a little more harassment here. Just gotta watch out for these Phoenix though. And Root siege tech is up, and he's starting to macro out a pretty decent force here. He's got quite a few barracks coming down, because Marines are a great counter to both Void Rays and Immortals. But with Charge coming up, it could go both ways. We do have a Forge coming down for EGiNkA here, so we'll probably be seeing some upgrades. More harassment coming in from the Banshees. We'll probably also see a couple cannons come down. Now, unfortunately, no observer speed. A lot of players don't get that just because it's a pretty hefty investment if you aren't already going down that path. So it looks like EGiNkA is just keeping that Phoenix back here for as soon as this Banshee runs out of energy, and EGiNkA is researching Storm. Now we do have this push here, and it looks like miss micro from EGiNkA. And looks like EGiNkA, yeah, EGiNkA's going to clean this up here. Definitely a good push from Root, but I think he got caught a little unprepared. I don't think he was expecting EGiNkA to push out at that exact moment. So caught a little bit out of formation. So he's definitely being forced to retreat back to his base, putting down another command center. So he'll probably be looking to secure a third expo soon, or placing a forward planetary fortress. Some players tend to do that, so we'll see what he opts to do. This is a lot of warp gates here, and with High Templar out, it's going to be a little tough for Root to stick with that bio ball. Well, it doesn't look like Templars are actually on the field just yet. Looks like EGiNkA is waiting for the Khydarian Amulet to finish. So Root just hanging back, macroing up here, since he knows he can't really push out yet, since his initial push was a bit of a failure. And EGiNkA taking that advantage and putting down the gold expo here. So right now his primary concern is to either put a little bit of pressure on Root to keep him back, or to simply secure this expo here. And it looks like Root has the exact same idea. Moving forward, getting some forward bunkers and missile turrets to help keep observers out. Also putting down a sensor tower, very good. A lot of players tend to neglect their sensor towers. I mean, they're really useful. And EGiNkA is going to see this before the missile turrets are up. So it's going to be his call whether he wants to engage this or if he wants to continue to macro. And it looks like he's going to be engaging. He needs to be careful at this choke point here. He needs to let his zealots get out in front so that way they can get a surround on these tanks. And letting his units get a little clumped up there, that could be a little bad for EGiNkA. And the planetary fortress is not up yet, and EGiNkA moving over here to, yeah, he's looking to pull out of here before that planetary fortress is up and being repaired. And we are seeing a lot of photon cannons. I'm not sure I like the positioning on those very well, but I guess this helps secure that forward position. And we've got mules. Definitely good to save up some mules to drop into these gold minerals once you take it. Root is going to need a couple medevacs out here in order to heal up those troops before the next engagement. It's not good to move in with such weakened troops like that. And there is one medevac, but that's about it. So it's not going to make too much of a difference. We do see another robotics facility coming down for EGiNkA. That's the robotics bay. There's the facility. So we'll most likely be seeing some Colossus coming out very shortly. But he's just rebuilding his forces here, letting his High Templar get their energy back, and getting quite a few zealots because he sees the tank play, and zealots are very good against tanks once they have charge because they can move in and get that surround. And as Terran, if you're going to go tanks against zealots, you just have to be really careful with your positioning, because tanks are amazing against zealots if and only if they aren't surrounded. So if there's any high ground, you want to take advantage of that. Take advantage of these gaps here and your unit positioning. Anything to keep the Protoss or